Oh my gosh, you guys, I filmed this entire video and then there wasn't like enough space on my disk to store it, so I'm recording it again. But actually, I was a little bit like too fired up, I think, before, so I'm actually kind of glad I'm going to record it again. Hello, welcome. I'm Erin McKell. Very nice to meet you. So LJ Michelle, she runs the YouTube channel Journey East. I've talked about her a million times, I feel like. But she made a video called How I Got Started in Freelance and kind of talked about her experience, and I wanted to make one too because I'm kind of leaving that industry. I'm starting a coaching business where I'm going to be coaching female entrepreneurs. So I'm going to leave the link for that website in the description because that's my new business. But I used to run a social media freelance business, and after I just wasn't passionate about it, so I decided I wasn't going to do it anymore. And I wanted to talk about it though because I also have a little bit of a different background. Like LJ, kind of got into it through doing YouTube and through building her network that way. And for me, mine was a little bit more traditional in the sense that I did internships. I was like writing for blogs and websites. I worked on campus. I did all kinds of things throughout high school and college that like built my freelance career basically, and that got me that opportunity. And how it really started was I was applying for a paid internship and they wanted to give me the job, but they told me they thought I was overqualified to be called an intern. So they were like, how do you feel about freelancing? And I was so excited and I felt like the light bulb went off and I realized I was really interested in entrepreneurship. And so I built a business out of it. And so, yeah, and it was great and I love it. And I would encourage you all, if you want to run your own business, definitely do it. Go for it. You can do it. And especially in this day and age with the internet, it's so much easier to do those kind of things. So I'm going to tell you kind of like my experience, my tidbits, things to think about when you're starting out that I wish I knew. So I would love to hear kind of your story if you're starting a business or you want to in the comments. If you have any questions for me, hit me up. I'm happy to answer. So first of all, okay, have a game plan. This is so important because so many people, they just start out and they just don't really have a plan. And like, I'm not saying write like a 20-page business plan. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is like, know what you're doing. Okay, what are your services? Like, what packages do you offer? Like, what are your rates? What's the name of your business? What's your logo? Are you going to, like, incorporate yourself as, like, an LLC or something like that? You need to, like, know those kind of things. Like, the base of your business, like, the basics. Have those things done and covered because it will just save you so much headache in the long run. Trust me. And business bank account should be added to that list, too. Trust me. So get those basics, get them down. You'll thank yourself that you did that first because then you're going to avoid this like scramble that ultimately happens if you don't do those things because you need to have those things. Okay. Second, you need to be on social media and have a personal brand. This is really important. I mean, especially if you're running an internet-based business, social media is a non-negotiable. But even if you're not, I would say you still need to be on social media because that's how people are going to find you. That's how they're going to get to know you. That's where you can refer people to go. That's where you can like put samples of your work. And, it's such an amazing tool. You need to be taking advantage of it. And you should have somewhat of a personal brand. So like I should be able to look at your social media and kind of know what you're about, what you do, all that kind of stuff. So definitely super important. Be on social media. You need to be on social media and, use it to reach out and use it to kind of like build your network too. Okay. People will screw you over. This is so true. You need to be prepared for it. Like, you need to prepare for the worst from people. Because as, like, any freelancer, and I guarantee they've been screwed over by somebody. At least one person. Because there's just a lot of bad people out there, unfortunately, with bad intentions who want to take advantage of you. And you just need to be smart and you need to be careful. You need to have everything documented. Save everything. Save every email, all that. I'm going to talk about contracts in a second, but contracts, you always want to work under a contract. Do not work under like a verbal agreement or anything like that. Always have a written contract. And you just want to be really clear with that person. You want to know the terms that you're working under. You want to know, what your rights are and what their rights are, and what their end of the agreement is. Because agreements, that's the thing about contracts too, is that two people are in a contract at any given time. So you're agreeing to do something and they're agreeing to do something. So if they're not doing something, that means that the contract is null and void for you. So like if somebody's like, for example, it's like, okay, they're going to pay you on this date and they don't pay you, then don't keep working because they didn't hold up this end first. So then you don't need to hold up your end anymore. Okay. But just be prepared for that. Like, trust me, just be ready, have everything in place, be, clean cut about all that stuff so that if you ever get screwed over, you know what to do. Okay. The market is saturated. This is really important too, because, especially with the internet, anybody can start a business, and I guarantee somebody has started a business like yours. And that's not bad. That's not to say there's not a place for you in the market, because there is. There's a place for everybody. And the reason is because everybody's unique. Everybody brings something a little bit different to the table. Your flavor is going to be a little bit different than the next person's. Just because somebody's decided to make juice, and like that's their business, like I'm going to make juice, that doesn't mean that you can't make juice too and make different juice. You know what I mean? Like there's room for like multiple flavors and kinds of juice. So don't worry about that, but focus on the differentiation. What makes you different? What makes you unique? Why should somebody hire you over Sally or over Harry over here? Like, why should they work with you? And you need to get clear on this. Like, my business coach actually had me do an exercise where I had to make a list of 100 things that were unique about working with me. And it was harder than I thought, but it was super helpful because you kind of get to know yourself and, the things that make you different and make you stand out that are going to make somebody want to work with you, because it's in business where you want to be different. You don't want to be fitting in and be the same, because then you're never going to rise up as an individual and as somebody who's taking the lead. You want to be the one setting the bar. So focus on what makes you different and know what makes you different. Like, be able to say it. Okay. Contracts are key to everything. Like I was saying before, always have contracts. Do not work under verbal agreements. Always have a written contract, and don't start working for someone until you both sign the contract. Very important. So if you're like, I don't know how to write a contract, like I don't know how to do it, I don't know what, I don't want to hire a lawyer, like you don't need to hire a lawyer. You can. I certainly wouldn't say that's a bad move, but okay, so first of all, there's tons of free, like, contract templates. If you just Google it, like, contract templates, you'll see tons of them come up, and you can use those to make yours. Second of all, if you've ever worked for somebody before, you probably signed a contract to work with them. Go and find those contracts and use those contracts to make your own. Like, look at exactly what they said, exactly the things that they noted, because there's going to be things, like, you would forget to put in there, and use those to make yours. Trust me, it will make your life so much easier, and then they'll be, like, really legit contracts, but you're not going to have to, like, pay a lawyer to make your contracts for you. Okay, next point. And with that, I also do want to say, like, make sure, like, if you're doing a project or something for somebody, don't, like, let them just, like, totally pay you later. Like, have an upfront, like, half upfront, half when the job's done. That's pretty typical of this kind of industry, but have something like that. Don't just, like, let somebody pay you completely at the end, because you're taking a risk with that. And that's like the people who will screw you over, who just like disappear, and then you did all this work for them and they're never going to pay you. So, have some kind of like security policy kind of in place like that, so that, even if the person screws you over, like at least you have half or something like that. Okay. Saying no. Saying no is really, really important, because I used to be somebody, and LJ talked about this a little in her video. I used to just say yes to everything and everyone all the time. Like, I never would say no, even if my gut told me to say no. And there's so many times where I'm like, wow, I really wish I had listened to my gut, because this was just not the right opportunity for me. And don't operate from a place of fear where it's like, what if I never get another opportunity? Or what if another client doesn't come? They will come, and they will actually come more the more that you value yourself and you don't take on opportunities that don't reflect you. Okay? So don't be afraid to say no. And you don't need to say no and, like, cut that person out. Like, you could just say it's not the right opportunity, or you don't have the capacity, but you want to stay in touch, or, refer someone else or whatever. You can keep that person kind of in your network. Okay, don't undervalue yourself. Don't look up, like, market rates of, like, your freelance business and, like, what people are charging for that. Look up salaries for those positions. Typically, you should charge a little bit more hourly than, like, you would be making in a salary position, because you have overhead, things people aren't paying for you, like overhead and 401k and paid time off. So you want to account for that in your hourly rate. And don't make it super low. Like, I don't care who you are, you should never be working for less than $15 an hour, but even that's super low. Really, it should probably be more like 25 if you want to have any skin in the game. So note that. Don't undervalue yourself, trust me. And don't be afraid to negotiate, because this is your business, baby. Negotiate as much as you need to. Okay, you need to treat it like a business. Kind of goes along with this. Part of this is like, you need to not be afraid to put your foot down, and also, not be afraid to, like, negotiate or whatever. Ask for a higher rate than you think you're going to get. And same thing with like, there's going to be tons of people coming to you to ask you to work for free. Not only like friends and family and stuff, but just like random people who like find you on Google or through social media. Like they'll ask you, do you want a guest blog? Or, do you want to do this interview? Or do you want to do, do you want to come on like our team as an unpaid intern? And like, trust me, those people will come to you. And don't do that. You need to run it like a business. Don't work for free. I would say like never work for free really. Just trust me, just don't do it. Like don't do it because it's not a business then. And you deserve to be making money for the things you're doing. I understand side projects and stuff, but in terms of your business, no. And then, don't be afraid, just tell people, like, especially people that like expect you to do them favors. I wouldn't show up to your office and just demand that you do work for me for free. Like, that would be ridiculous, right? Same thing, they shouldn't be doing that to you because this is your business. You can help somebody out, but don't, like, take on a bunch of favors and free things, and because soon enough you're going to be working and, like, not making any money, which is exactly the opposite of a business. So don't do that. Make it a business. Don't be afraid, like, to be a business person. So I hope this was helpful. Any questions, anything, would love to help you guys out. I would love to promote your businesses, so also like share links and stuff with me. Kisses, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.